What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another player prop video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. If you haven't joined propsmadeeasy.com yet, you need to. It's only $20 a month to make you a pro-level player prop better. That's plain and simple. If you take the top plays off Props Made Easy, you will become a much better player prop better. It's that simple, all right? Thank y'all for joining me as always, man. Excited for week 4, baby. Excited for week 4. And yesterday, the Props Made Easy tools showed exactly how accurate they really are and how crazy they really go in this game. As y'all remember, if you watched yesterday's video, Joe Burrow's top prop was his passing plus rushing yards at 277.5 line. Our sportsbook consensus line showed 272.5. Our player projection was also down in that range. I told y'all that this 277.5, if you want to test the accuracy of Props Made Easy, which you shouldn't have to because you should know already, but if you want to test the accuracy of Props Made Easy, pay attention to what this line ends up being before Sunday. I guarantee you it's down there at 272.5, around there, like our sportsbook consensus shows right now. And guess where he dropped to an hour after I posted that video? 272.5 passing plus rushing yards. And that is the value that Props Made Easy brings, plain and simple. It is absolutely ridiculous. We spend thousands on thousands on thousands on thousands a month for this level of data that we have for Props Made Easy. Okay, we didn't just come in here and just throw something together. Like, we really have a top of the line tool to help our people be successful. And then instead of us gouging for an excessive amount of money, we made it only $20 a month so everyone could afford it. If you're in the betting world and you're consistently playing player props, then you should have $20. $20 will take your win rate even higher than you are right now, or then higher than you've ever had it. That's all you need is Props Made Easy. Props Made Easy for only $20 a month. You can spend majority of your bankroll on your actual slips, and you will become a much better player prop better than anything else you have tried or done so far to this point. Okay, you have to understand now, Props Made Easy is not going to win 100%. I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm saying you will become much better in general. You will win much more consistently. Okay, you will win a lot more often because you're utilizing way more data than you ever have. All right, anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because it was pretty impressive to see Joe Burrow's line drop an hour after that video dropped. It just shows how powerful these tools really are and how often they beat these bumps and really do damage. All right. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into Thursday Night Football's picks. I'm going to zone in solely on that right now. I'm going to type in 26, the date, and when you do that at Props Made Easy, if you just type in the date, it'll show you just the plays from that day. All right. Now, Thursday Night Football, we have the Giants taking on Dallas. Dallas is traveling to New York for this game. Dak Prescott's over 269.5 passing plus rushing yards is a very good play right here. Over 3.79 sportsbook differential. Other sportsbooks have this averaged at 273.29, so realistically, this Prizepicks line should be around 273.5, 273. And it's only 269.5. So grab that over on Dak Prescott before that happens to bump up as well. We have his player projection at 277.9 passing plus rushing and 8.4 projection differential. I would not be shocked to see Dak Prescott throw for over 300 in this game. Okay? I wouldn't. Rico Dowdle, over 55.5 rushing plus receiving yards is a 2.25 sportsbook differential on his over. Sportsbook lines are on average at 57.75 on this line. Our player projections 56.6, a 1.1. So not only do you have the other sportsbooks around 57.7, what does that tell you? That this should be around 57.5. But it's not. It's 55.5. So grabbing the over would get you a good value with Rico Dowdle. Devin Singletary, over 81.5 rushing plus receiving yards at a 1.81. Other sportsbooks are at 83.3 on him. Again, another situation where this guy should probably be 83 or 83.5, but he's 81.5. So we're going to grab the over and get good value here. Not only that, but projections 85.3, a 3.8 projection differential from where the line is at 81.5. So really like that spot for him. Daniel Jones, over 201.5 passing yards at a 1.55 sportsbook differential for the over. Other sportsbooks have this at 203. Player projections also at 203, almost identical. All right. So not only do you have the sportsbooks at 203, but player projections also at 203. So Prizepicks is tripping having it at 201. They should have it at 203 as well. CD Lamb over 85.5 rushing plus receiving at a 1 sportsbook differential. Our consensus books are at 86.5. Player projections at 87.4. So I like the over on CD Lamb rushing plus receiving as well. All right. With that being said, let's move right along. College football. Oh, actually, sorry. Let's look at all of week 4 now that we touched on Thursday night football. All right, looking at all of week 4 as a whole. Zamir White over 52.5 rushing plus receiving yards is a 3.36 sportsbook differential on his over. Sportsbook lines are at 55.8 on him here. Player projections 54.5, a 2 projection differential. So really like the spot on Zamir White on his over. You can grab that value of the over 52.5 before that bumps up to around 55.5 eventually. Zamir White's over rushing yards alone is at a 3.25. Deshaun Watson under 231.5 passing plus rushing at a minus 1.82. Other sportsbooks are at 229.6 on him. Player projections at 228. So everything states for the under 231.5. Josh Allen against Baltimore under 271.5 passing plus rushing at a minus 1.77. On the under, other sportsbooks have his line at 269.7. Player projections at 269.4, almost identical. Again, it's always great to see when the sportsbook's average and the player projection are almost identical. That means you have all types of data on the same exact number that really gives you strong confidence in a play for sure. Dalton Schultz over 27.5 at a 1.58 on the over. Other sportsbooks have this at 29. Player projections at 30. So like the over on Schultz. Zach Moss over 12.5 receiving yards at a 1.53. Chris Olave over 67.5 at a 1.35. Cortland Sutton over 42.5 at a 1.29. But honestly, you don't have to drop down that far. You have some really good sportsbook differentials. You don't have to implement any ones. You can just go with the 2s or higher. I mean, you've got plenty of value here. All right, let's look at goblins. The best goblins that you're going to see on the board are a few solid options. You've got Bo Nix over 15.5 rushing yards at a 10 sportsbook differential. Malik Neighbors over 49.5 receiving yards at a 10. Devin Singletary over 5.5 receiving yards at a 9.92. So you've got some decent options there as well. All right, now let's look overall in the entire industry on every sportsbook where the absolute best value is. All right, with that being said, we have Dak Prescott's under. His line is 272.5 over on Hot Streak. The under is minus 8.92 over on that sportsbook when you compare the numbers. Daniel Jones on Sleeper, over 227.5 passing plus rushing as an 8.89 over. Daniel Jones on Hot Streak, under 211.5 at a minus 8.67. Hot Streak again, Malik Neighbors, under 79.5 receiving yards at a minus 8.26. CD Lamb, under 90.5 receiving yards at a minus 8.05. What I've noticed is Hot Streak really puts their lines incredibly high, so you can take advantage of these things. Moving on. For college football, we have Cam Ward, under 314.5 passing yards at a minus 4.46. Great spot here on Cam Ward. Other sportsbooks have this line at 310. So that's exactly where Prizepicks should have it, but except they have it at 314. So take advantage and go the under on Cam Ward here. Ethan Kalekmanis, under 168.5 passing yards and a minus 3.45 differential on the under there. Brendan Sorsby, under 237.5 passing yards and a minus 3.2. Dylan Gabriel, under 93.5 passing yards and a minus 3.08. Tez Johnson, under 85.5 receiving yards at a minus 3.04. We have Dymere Miller, under 45.5 receiving yards at a minus 3. Luke Altmaier, under 183.5 passing plus rushing at a minus 2.93. We have an over finally, Abu Sama III, over 63.5 rushing yards at a 2.88. KJ Jefferson, over 248.5 passing plus rushing at a 2.86. Look at all this value. I mean, dude, I've scrolled so far down and I still haven't reached the ones yet. Look at this, all this 2 and above. So much college football value. Make sure you're taking advantage of that stuff, man. All right? All right, moving on to CFL. Obviously, nothing on CFL. We need to just take that off the tool. All right, looking at MLB. The top plays from MLB dominated yesterday. Looking to do that once again. It's not green probabilities, but as I've always said, you can always kind of decide on a play based off the highest odds whether you believe that chance to hit will eventually get to where you want it or not, and you can grab it early. Hunter Renfroe's over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs is a 52.45% chance to hit. Minus 135 consensus odds when you take all the sports books. The highest odds gets as high as minus 150 over on Bovada, and we have him projected at 1.94. So Hunter Renfroe's over hits, runs, RBIs of 1.5 is a solid option because due to that highest odds getting as high as 1.5 and that player projection being 0.4 for projection differential as well. Taking a look at the Goblins that you could pair him with, because there's no other great options on Prizepicks value-wise right now. You could pair him with Brandon Lowe's over 0.5 total bases. He's the overall best Goblin option that we have on the board at a 60.64% chance to hit. Brian Reynolds, we have the over on 0.5 total bases for him at 59.91. Willie Castro over at 59.91. Like, we got a lot of solid options that you could pair up with any regular plays that pop in if you don't have multiple options that are great. I mean, right now, you have Renfroe and then a drop down to the low 52s. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, be patient. You will have better plays pop in as the day goes on. Let's look at all sports books. Overall, the best value is on Hot Streak. Masson Win, over 1.5 total bases at a 55.38% chance to hit. Consensus odds at minus 152. Highest odds gets as high as minus 160 over on BetMGM. And a player projection of 1.51. So all data points signal towards the over on Win, over total bases of 1.5. Win also is in play on these other sites as well. Aaron Savali, over 4.5 hits allowed, a 55.19% chance to hit. Consensus odds of minus 151. Gets as high as minus 170. So fantastic option there on Aaron Savali as well. That is a pairing that I would definitely rock with. Speaking of Hot Streak did fantastic yesterday. I had a couple slips on Hot Streak. I just thought about it, so I got on it. I'm about to enter this slip while we're live. If y'all want to play this slip with me, you can. Masin Win, however you say this dude's name. I'm going Win. Total bases over 1.5. And then I'm dropping down to this other Hot Streak right here, Aaron Savali. These are two of the best values on the entire board for MLB today. So I'm getting them in over on Hot Streak right now as we speak. Hits allowed over 4.5. Boom. I'm going to finalize this entry. This is a 2.55 multiplier. All right, let me finish that up. Boom. Placed. Good to go. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, as y'all can see, that's how I pretty much move. That's how I do things. MLB first inning. We have a decent option with the Rockies and St. Louis Cardinals. Over 0.5 first inning total runs at a 52.48% chance to hit. Not green yet. But minus 135 consensus odds on the over is pretty solid. Pretty solid odds for the over there. Moving on, MLB Fantasy. You'll have even more pop in for this as we get closer to the game's beginning. But Riley Green, under 7 batting fantasy scores, minus 0.75. He'll be the best option at the moment. Looking at WNBA, absolutely nothing I would play. 50% is as high as it gets over on Prizepicks right now. If you look at all sports books, let me just look at the fantasy books. Sabrina Ionescu, over 5.5 assists at 53.7 is a solid option. Brianna Stewart, under 9.5 rebounds, 52.89. But really not a lot of WNBA value on the board right now. I just wouldn't even mess with it too much, honestly. Taking a look at MMA, Jacqueline's still at the top. Over significant strikes of 76.5. Daniel Perez, under 54.5 significant strikes at a minus 1.6. Joe Anderson Brito, under 37.5 significant strikes at a minus 1.6, would be your absolute best bets for MMA. For tennis, we don't have the regular sportsbooks that we're looking for. Nothing for Prizepicks, so I'm just going to move on from tennis right now. For soccer, we have Borja, over 2.5 shots at a 1 sportsbook differential there. Nothing for Call of Duty. Nothing for League of Legends. For CS2, we have 7 kick, over 14 first 2 map headshots at a 1.5 sportsbook differential on the over. Sayo Cardao, over 28 first 2 map kills at 1.5. Same guy, over his 15.5 first 2 map headshots at a 1.5. Queenix, over 13 first map kills at a 1.5. Zello, over 11.5 first 2 map headshots at a 1.5. As you guys know, when it comes to esports, the lowest I'll go is 1.5 or high. Like 1.5 or higher is all I'll play when it comes to esports. And sportsbook differentials in general, I try to stay 1.5 or higher. Last but not least, looking at Valorant, all 0.5s. Nothing really I would get involved in right now. But yeah, just like yesterday with the Joe Burrow line, get these plays in, man. Utilize the top plays that Props Made Easy, because what you will notice is early on in the week, When you take the top plays at Props Made Easy, you can look back at those plays later on in the week before Sunday begins and see that you got tremendous value on those plays early on, because they all will be bumped in the direction Props Made Easy told you they would. And like, forget everything I tell you. Forget how amazing I tell you it is. Look at the facts. Look at what it legitimately does for you. Look how it catches the value for you every single time. You can see it for free in these videos. How amazing this thing is when it comes to grabbing the best value. Now, is it going to win every single moment that you place a bet? No, it's not going to be 100%. But it will raise you up from wherever you are not using it. You will get better having it. Plain and simple, especially if you're utilizing it correctly. Taking the top plays, not overthinking things, and just letting it do damage for you. Plain and simple. Thank y'all for joining me as always. Only $20 a month for this tool at Props Made Easy. Like 3 times less than anywhere else. Absolutely amazing tool with player projections, with AI technology involved into it, with big time partnerships in the industry for our player projections. Data company that works with ESPN. Like, we're not playing games. All right. Lock in. Let's have an amazing week 4. Thank y'all for joining me as always, and I'm out. Peace.